From the very first moment I saw the price of the Samsung Galaxy A5 2017, I thought, wait, something does not seem to add up here. This phone seems to make no sense at all, since by now you can get a Samsung Galaxy S7 for pretty much the same price, but with at least on paper higher specs. It turns out I might have been actually wrong, because after using this phone for just one day, I have to admit this phone is mighty legit. And I will let you know why in just a few seconds, but before that, a big thanks once again to Cyberport for the review on it, because it allowed me to get my hands on it so quickly after the release. So, why do I think it is so good? First of all, the design. Look at it. It looks a lot like the S7. Yes, it's maybe noticeably taller, but for some reason it actually manages to feel kind of thinner in the hand, and that's why the in-hand feel is still absolutely amazing. And we have all the great attributes of the S7 here as well, like the curved sides and the super top-notch premium quality, and it actually puts one on top now with the home button being completely flush, and you don't have to press it to unlock it with the fingerprint anymore, because this actually, even though it sounds quite trivial, makes quite a huge impact in the overall experience of the fingerprint reader. We still don't have a notification LED, but since we now have the always on display, I have to actually say this is quite a solid compromise. The display, I think, is absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, because I did a quick side-by-side comparison with the S7, and even though that one on paper is sharper, it actually doesn't seem like that at all, because the sharpness on zoomed out elements look pretty much on par. The calibration is top notch and the quality is super great. Of course, we still have the oversaturated screen, but it is an absolutely lovely display. In terms of the speaker, it is a little bit oddly placed now on the top right side, but it actually is quite good because it's almost as loud as the S7 and it sounds just a little bit less rich, but totally gets the job done, actually quite nice. I can't judge the headphone jack just yet, but if we talk about the performance, I have to say great job, because as you can see here, the scrolling in the browser is absolutely top, buttery smooth. The phone is actually quite responsive, and in some aspects it kinda even feels better than the S7, because we don't have the oversensitive screen anymore here, and the scrolling feels a little bit more consistent. We don't have the odd micro stutters anymore, and it is a very cohesive, really solid, pretty much flagship experience. Yes, there is still a little bit of a difference to some better phones out there, but it actually is, I would almost say, on par with the S7, to my surprise, actually, as yeah, it is like that. In terms of battery, I can't judge it just yet, but since we have a low resolution display compared to the S7, but pretty much the same battery, it should actually be even better, since the SoC should be also more efficient. From half a cycle, it looks definitely like it, but it will have to be seen once I have it done in the full review. Now, about the software. Okay, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, will complain about the fact that we don't have Nougat yet. But just quickly compare this with Nougat here on the S7. There is actually not that much of a difference, because both are using the same theme. For some reason, this one has only one color where we have more here. But if we check the quick settings here, they look very, very similar here. Not a huge difference, as you can see here. This is using custom ROM, so it looks a little bit different. You have more columns here as well. But I have to actually say, you don't miss out all that much, because after using Nougat on the S7 for a few days, I have to say, I don't really see any bigger benefits. The battery life didn't really improve for me. We had already dual window and some Nougat features already here. You still have the multi-window from Samsung, not the Nougat one yet, but this will change and it will get the update. So I don't worry too much about this still being on Marshmallow, because I didn't really notice an improvement from Marshmallow to Nougat on the S7, and that's why this is still absolutely fine. Camera, as always, I will let that up for the final review. So what's my quick early verdict? Not a final conclusion yet. Design, absolutely top and is well worth the price, because this is a flagship in terms of design. And still the display as well, because even though it's just 1080p, high quality, super top notch, in my opinion, flagship level display. The speaker pretty much on par with the S7, very good, still gets the job totally done. Performance, in some ways I have to actually say better than the S7, because for example now Naked Browser runs way better, and it is still, okay, maybe not on the very highest best flagship level, but it is so close to that, and let's not forget it is after all no flagship. Battery life should be noticeably better than on the S7, I guess, but we will have to see that. But it is looking or turning out to be quite good so far. Software, in my opinion, I like TouchWiz, and they optimized it, I think, a little bit better now. It is smooth. It is great. The micro stutters are gone. I like that we have the great theming engine and all the great capabilities. So A lot of people still don't like TouchWiz. They think it gets weirder after time, but it never happened on my S7, and I don't think it will happen here either. So top. And the camera will have to be seen on the final review. So I have to say, yes, it's maybe priced at around 400 euros. Not that cheap, but it is actually a legit competitor to the S7 because you get a newer device, you get a slightly bigger display, you get a better battery life. Okay, maybe you won't get quite the camera quality, but if you can get it for a good price, so far it looks very promising. Of course, I need a few days, and don't worry, I will make an in-depth comparison between the two like I did last year already with the A5, and this should cover the rest for you to make the decision, because I have to actually say for now, I actually think this is a little bit better, at least from my subjective feelings so far after one day. Of course, we will have to see about that in the final review, but this was it. Thanks again, huge thanks to Cyberport, so I can get my hands on it so quickly. And you know the rest, comments, likes, subscription and so on. Otherwise, nice day, bye.